Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're here for the poke, for the food, for the nutrition, for the lifestyle transformation. But what you're going to want to stick around for is the high-flying poodle. Be very aware at all times. Hey, doggy dog. Hey, show us what you got. Show us what you got. Show us what you got. Where you at? You gotta show us what you got. Up, up. Come on now, don't be shy. Up, up. Oh, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the highest flying dog in the world. If you'd like to put money on it, I will meet you at the park. Up, up. Ooh, that's airtime, guys. You cannot find that anywhere else. Hey, guys. Welcome. Happy Aloha Friday. I know I'm going to be all over the place because I need to figure out where exactly this thing's going to be, but we'll try to go here for now. Aloha, aloha, aloha. All my family, all my ohana in Hawaii, from Oahu to Maui to Lanai to Molokai. How's it? In the Kayyem kitchen. I know my head's cut off here, but let's get right to work, guys. It's not about me. It's about the food. You're seeing such a huge craze right now in the poke world. And that's how you pronounce it, by the way. There's no little asterisk at the end of it. It's poke. Poke. P-O-K-E. Poke. And I got to do my due diligence in teaching you guys how to make this as best as possible. First of all, let's run through these ingredients for a second and know that everything here is organic, wild caught, fresh. I got all of it yesterday from Costco. Even the Ahi tuna, which is from Hawaii, is from Costco. And it was the best piece. I've got some organic carrots. I've got some organic shiitakes, peppers. I got a cucumber. I got a pear for dessert. I've got a red onion. And I've got a little kale mix. And then we get into the spices here. And really, this is a wheat-free soy sauce. And this one here is an apple cider vinegar, Mad Spice Project. If I could get sponsored by anybody right now, I'm going to have to say Mad Spice Project would be the one because I love this stuff. Absolutely amazing. A little red pepper. And then, of course, I had to bust out some local ingredient. And I got a little alea salt from Hawaii as well, from Mililani. I remember hanging out at my boy Tui McBraun's house up at Mililani Heights up in Oahu. So another big shout out to all my Hawaiians out there. Let's get to work. And where you're going to probably see the biggest challenge, where you're probably going to kind of get stuck, is going to be with that piece of ahi. So first of all, Benny Hanna in the house. I knew going there all those years for my kid's birthday, I would pick something up, and I'm going to do my best rendition of that. So if you don't know, this is not a knife sharpener. You may or may not know that. I don't know how skilled you are at the saw, but that's not an actual knife sharpener. What it does is it flattens the blade. It just makes the blade a little bit flatter on both sides, which in return is going to give you a slightly sharper edge. And all we want to do here is just rotate right through from the very bottom to the top, 5 or 10 times each, and then we're done. So taking a look at this giant piece, this is a $22 piece of ahi tuna. You can see where it gets really, really dark, and you can see where it gets a little light and fatty. And because we're doing this live from the Kayyem kitchen, I want to show you guys the best way to do this. And this fatty piece is excellent, but we got to treat it slightly different than what we like to call this ono piece right here. This is an ono piece. You can see that would be like the heart, the inside of your body. You can see it's really dark, it's really red. That's what we're going to go for right there. This is part of the fatty tendon here, and that's okay, right? We don't want to eat that, and we're going to find a way to get rid of it right away. So what I'm going to do here is take this kind piece right off the top, right here, and I'm just going to take that right across, because this is ultimately, this is the best piece, aside from the belly, of the fish. And I'm going to make that sashimi separately. That's a whole different party right there, but you can still see how nice this is. If I can clean up the edges a little bit, get some of that fat off, I'll just put it right to the side for now. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to peel this thing down so you can see where it's running. There's some dark lines, there's some light lines, and I'm pretty much just gonna peel right across. Boom, take a little sliver out. Boom, take a little sliver out. Almost like fillets, like steaks. We're just gonna take it apart and then we're gonna dissect in. Guys, this is probably the longest part if you take pride in it. And regardless of where this fish came from in the Hawaiian Islands, I take pride in this because this is a part of Hawaii right here that I have in my hands. And I wanna respect it and I wanna treat it well before I dog it down and before I eat it. So from here, I got some nice pieces. Now, depending on how you like your poke, if you like big pieces or small pieces, it's pretty much how you're gonna cut it. I'm not cutting this for sashimi or for any other reason. I'm cutting this into small chunks, just small chunks that I feel comfortable biting. I can take it a little bit smaller here. I can cut it down the middle, and then I can repeat that same process, almost like mini blocks, mini chunks, however you like to eat it, but we want to keep it small. Again, this lunch is for me. I actually might take this to Reem, my dentist, who I'm going to go see a little bit later. And that's it. We just got some small pieces. So how much am I going to add to that? Well, you can see right here, this is my kale salad. This is my slaw. This is just some very simple, I think there's some broccoli in there. There's a little bit of cabbage. Well, this is going to be my base layer, especially if you're in the challenge, guys. This is no grains. Right? If you're not in the challenge or you're looking to add some bulk or some size or just, help refuel a long endurance session, you would put white rice in the bottom of this. White rice over brown rice. If my man James Fitzgerald is on the line, he will answer that respectedly, but it's white rice over brown rice. I don't want to get into it right now, but I'm going to tell you that white rice goes in and it goes out. Brown rice you actually cannot digest. So you can see these fillet pieces, these are ono. I'm going to treat them a little bit later, right? A fish like this should probably last you, depending on how many people are in the house, 2 to 3 days, just depending on how much you're eating it. If you start to get to the tail end, like Sunday or even Monday, I might grill this up a little bit because it is raw fish. Still looking at that piece of ono right there, and I got one more fillet piece right here. So this is kind of cool. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually pull it apart, right down that vein, get rid of that vein, and I'm just going to scrape it. And I can use a spoon to do this, or I can use my knife. It just depends. But I'm going to get rid of that fatty piece right across the top of it, and just kind of scrape it to the side. I want to get rid of as much of that as possible without losing too much meat. I'm just going to stack it right here to the side, move the fatty piece right over there. So you can see this right here almost becomes like shredded ahi tuna. And that's really good stuff right there. It just takes a little bit more work to get it down. And really what we're doing here is pulling as much of that fat out as possible. Right? So I pull that all to the side. Great. That's the stuff right on top. Boom, boom, boom. I got enough fish there. I'm going to put this back in. We'll move this over to the side. Beautiful. I'm going to change knives. If you're paying attention here, I am changing knives, not using the same knife for my fish as I am. But because I'm the only one eating it and we're not on cable TV, I don't mind if I mix and match my food. So here's my base salad, right? What I'm going to do next is go the sunamono route. So I love cucumbers. One of my favorite vegetables of all time is the cucumber. And I eat them all the time, whether I'm eating them with hummus or not. But here we go right here. Buy my seafood. Great question. Mark Wilson, my man. Great question. So it just depends. I search at Costco. I look at places. I always look, whether it's Sprouts or Trader Joe's, but really it's going to be Whole Foods or Costco. Very rarely do I get a piece of fish this big from Costco, but it was calling me. It was calling me out of everything they had. So back to the cucumber, nice long house cucumber. Again, what's your style? What's your preference, right? My kids, and maybe it's me that spoiled them, but what I've done with them is I've kind of given them this little half and half. So I take a piece of that right down the side. So there's a little bit of skin, there's a little not bit of skin, and it looks really cool as well. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a little sunamono salad. So I'm going to take really thin slices of this cucumber, and I'm talking like paper thin. If you've never cut your finger before, then you haven't gone thin enough. And I like an entire cucumber. Again, guys, I'm making my lunch. I'm not making your lunch. What you make, what you eat is going to be a little different. Yeah, great to see you guys. Frank Soul, my brother. All right, so I'm getting through this cucumber here. You can see my chunks are getting a little bigger. What if I cut my finger off on live Facebook? That would be crazy. I'm not going to do it. Don't worry. All right. What do you see here? What do you see? For all my smart people out there, what do you see? What's the difference? Not in the kind of food, not in the color, but the size. Look how much more vegetables I'm going to have than animal protein. I love this stuff, but you can only eat so much of it. You don't need to eat more than that. So boom, cucumbers in. Now I got the base layer of my sunomono salad. And if you know the history of poke, you know that poke means salad. It means fish salad. So I got some cucumber in here, but now I got to add a little bit of flavor. Apple cider vinegar. Not regular vinegar, but apple cider vinegar. I'm going to pour some of that right over the top. And then I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning. Just a tiny bit of the Hawaiian salt. I'm going to put some Hawaiian salt not only on my fish. If I was really trying to impress you guys, I might massage this in. But I'm also going to put some on the marinated fish for later so that that seasons and gets a little bit deeper. Okay, and then a little bit right over the top. Remember, don't be afraid of salt. As long as it's good salt. As long as it's not commercial grade salt. Too much salt, not good. Too little salt, not good. For all my endurance athletes out there, my man Frank Soul, this is the stuff right here that's going to give you a little bit of energy. And I've even taken this on the road with me for long runs, over 20 miles, in a small Ziploc pouch instead of salt tabs. Salt is salt. Great. So if I'm going vegetarian or vegan, I'm done. That's it. There's my salad. I can add some veggies to it. If I'm going full poke style, what I'm going to do now is get a little bit of onion. And I got red onion because that's all I had in the refrigerator. But for those of you guys that have ever cut an onion before, you know that it makes you tear. Well, here's my hack. Here's my secret hack of the day. And it doesn't happen so much with red onion as it does with white. But if you chew bubble gum, if you chew gum while cutting a white onion, you won't tear up. Ninja tip. And you heard it from Luke Kayyem, not Martha Stewart. All right, back to the onion. Again, if we're going off this style of really Japanese style, we want to keep things very slim, very small, very petite, very clean. And one of my favorite things of all time growing up in Hawaii was where I learned how to eat, where I learned how to cook. So we got a little onion spread there. Again, guys, if we're making this pretty for somebody or something, again, I'm not going to put any more than that because then I'm going to use that over here for my poke. And this poke is going to marinate just a little bit differently than the rest of the stuff right over there. Now, what do I got left? I got carrots and I got shiitakes. I got some peppers and I got some carrots. So these are the carrots again. What I prefer is a shredded carrot. And I'm not going to do it right now. But again, if we're going off of small and petite, I might take this carrot into some small pieces. I'll tell you what, because it is just me eating this here, my wife's out of town, my kids are at school, my dog doesn't like poke bowls, then I'm just going to show you guys what one looks like over the top, and then I'm going to put a couple on my own in later. Again, love the carrots. Carrots and cucumber are a staple in the vegetarian aisle for us. Not fruits, but in the veggies. We love carrots. Ton of carrots, boom, right over the top. You can see it's starting to take shape. It's starting to look a little bit more beautiful. Awesome. Well, with these peppers, I'm already going to add a little bit of spice to it, so I'm not too worried about adding flavor, but I'm just going to take this little guy, and I'm just going to, again, dice it up. We want the seeds if you like it spicy. If you don't like it spicy, then guess what? Don't put the seeds in it. I once ate a habanero pepper at my friend Gwen and Troy Whitfield's house. I was barbecuing, and I almost died. And nobody knew what was happening to me because I had to go around the house and like stick a hose in my mouth and pretend not to pass out. It was that harsh. So be careful when you eat this. All right, beautiful. What am I missing here right now that truly makes me happy is a discard bowl. Love a discard bowl. Put it right to the side. Beautiful. What's next? Well, I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning here. And I got two different things. I got something called the Mad Spice Project. As I told you guys, I absolutely love that. I got a little bit of hot red pepper, and then I've got a little bit of that soy sauce here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the spice right over the top. I'm actually gonna put this on. We are ready to go. Full poke mode right over the top. Make it look nice and pretty beautiful right there. Rinse those hands just a touch. Back! We are done cutting. Gonna move this to the side. Beautiful. I'm gonna add a little bit of this wheat-free, I think it's called Tamania or Tanza soy sauce. Just a little bit right over the top. Right, a couple things I don't have in this would be sesame seed oil, which would be really great. But, because I want to add a little bit more fat to it, and not just the fat that's in the sashimi, but I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil right here over the top. Boom. And a little bit of hot, spicy red pepper right there over the top. And boom. What do I have this pear for? Well, I love pears. I love fruit. So I add a little bit of fruit to just about every single meal. I'm not in a ketosis state. I actually am a sugar burner. But I love pears. I love these Bartlett pears. I have these at Costco and I couldn't hold back. So I'm just going to take one of these pears, give it a really small sliver right over the top. Boom! Right here. That's what we got. That is the final product right there. Let's move everything else out of the way. Let's give the floor to the main poke. It's all about you, big dog. You deserve it. You are part of the Hawaiian culture. You're now part of the American culture. There you go. My friends, we have one of the greatest and healthiest out-to-eat lunches of all time, and I made it in the kitchen. I made it at home. So don't think that you have to go out for food like this. That's it right there. Yes. All right, guys. All my friends and family, happy Aloha Friday for all my brothers and sisters in the Hawaiian Islands. I sure hope I represented it as best as possible for a hapa-haole boy like myself, but I think I did a pretty good job. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing weekend. I'm going to disconnect to reconnect because my son and I are home alone tonight. He's got a couple baseball games, and I want to give him 100% of my attention. If you're a father of the future or you're somebody that found value in this message today, I highly recommend that you please not only share this message, but you please follow me as I'm dedicated and committed each and every single day to live life with purpose, passion, and positivity. And I truly hope I inspired you. Get outside and make it happen. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Peace.